Bearcat Bounce Podcast. Back at it again. Happy Monday, guys. It's a Monday following a, shall I say, crazy TBT, nasty natty game last Friday. We'll put a bow on that one. And what was one of the more stranger chain of events that have taken place inside of Fifth Third Arena. It's also Monday following one more week closer to football season as we get ready for year two in Coach Scott Satterfield era. It's also a Monday as well where you know what, we inch closer to the preparation of the basketball team in year two of the Big 12. Big season expected upcoming. We're going to have ourselves a little snake draft with the current players on the roster. It's going to be a fun one. It's also a Monday where I get to welcome in the guys. Every single one of us here, the pals, the boys, the crew, together as one. Without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. We are all here. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good. It's volleyball tryout week, high school tryouts. So a lot of pressure on the young pup. She had tryouts from 8 to noon this morning, and then again from 6 to 8 tonight, and then back at it at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So
6 hours.
It's been a week. 6 hours of tryouts today, and then 4 more tomorrow. And then we find out if she makes the team, and then she starts boot camp on Wednesday, I think, if she does. So good luck, kid.
Says, welcome to the high school volleyball season. Then what? 14 straight hours and 3 days of volleyball.
Yeah, and then if she makes it, they're out of town for something this weekend. So it's going to be all volleyball all week. All right, see you later. The high school career begins. Get out.
Yeah, well, you had the birthday party over the weekend, so you got that fun out of the way. Now it's all business time. It's all business. Lock in.
Seven teenage girls in my house Saturday night and Sunday.
Wow.
So it was a lot. It was
brunch was tough. I heard. What was on?
I mean, it wasn't tough. It was a lot. We had some biscuits. Had some made some homemade waffles. Some bacon, some hash browns.
Banquet chef over here.
I mean, I had to cook for like 40 people on Saturday, then got home Saturday night at like 1 a.m., 12:30, and they wanted more food, so I had to cook then. That was just air fryer, like easy stuff, and then had to wake up and cook Sunday morning. So I cooked a lot. Like I was legitimately exhausted Sunday yesterday night. And then had to get up and take her this morning, and then go do 3 hours of radio and come home and take her back to practice. Mm-hmm. She keeps talking about 2 years until she drives. I'm ready to go see if I can get a petition. She can get her license earlier and start driving her ass where she needs to go.
I heard they might allow some exceptions, so it might be worth it. But Chef Brendel, sounds like it was a wild weekend with the spatula.
I just cooked. That's what I did all weekend. I cooked.
Well, maybe one of these days I can try some of that. Actually, the sliders were good that we tried that one time. So
she's like, yesterday, she's like, what are we having for dinner? I was like, I'm not cooking.
No,
like we are eating out tonight, honey.
Not at all. Well, and at least the Reds are giving you some good content during your radio bits as well.
Yeah,
so.
Sure. Yeah, that's great to talk about.
Always fun in the beautiful 513.
Not really.
Nope, not really at all. Aaron, sir, how are we? A lot of baseball this weekend, I heard.
Yeah, we had tournaments this weekend, but today I spent the day at Kings Island. Drove in from Athens this morning and got there at like 10:15. So almost at gate open, and heading back tonight. So it'll be a long day of amusement park and car rides. So
how were the rides? How were the lines? Did you eat blue ice cream? Any Skyline chili?
They have. I haven't been in several years, but now they have this all-you-can-eat meal deal thing where you pay, I think, something like we got it discounted because of my sister having a pass, and it was like $28, I think, for every 90 minutes you can get a meal at any restaurant in the park. And
What?
so, yeah. So I ate everything. I'm not sure that there was much we didn't eat. The only thing it doesn't cover is blue ice cream, and then you get the souvenir cup, and you just get free refills anytime you want all day. And yeah, that worked out well.
So if you go off camera, we know what's up, no doubt. Right on.
You're ridiculous.
So are you, brother? But hey, happy to hear. I love Kings Island. Miss it so
Yeah,
much.
it
I
was
need to
a
go
lot
back.
of fun. We hit Banshee like second ride of the day, so it set the tone, I think.
Go. Always need a tone setter. One time I saw Tony Bobbitt. Gotta love Tony Bobbitt at Kings Island, walking around with his own Lakers jersey on, and it just made me love Tony Bobbitt. So that man holds a very special place in my heart.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. Royer, the boy, how are we, sir?
Doing well. Had a solid weekend. Was up in Columbus watching the dogs for one night for the parents.
Okay.
So it was a pretty chill weekend. Went over to
Have you ever worn your own jersey in public?
my own jersey at number 35.
Yeah.
I've been out with people who were wearing my jersey, but not me wearing it myself. No. I have not.
I think I would.
Yeah.
What makes you say this?
I think you fit that vibe. Yeah.
I just think I would.
Yeah.
What had you ask me this? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
What Brent just said 2 minutes ago. Like, were you just not tuned in to the fucking intro?
No, he's locked in on
I'm sorry. My brother was texting me. I have to send him this link to something that he sent it to my email. Sorry.
Send me the
Brent saw Tony Bobbitt at Kings Island with his Lakers jersey on. It said Bobbitt on the back. Like Bobbitt, he wore his own jersey.
Gosh.
Okay.
I'm curious. You're the only one here that's ever played high-level sports. I was just wondering if you ever walked around with your own jersey on.
I have not, and you'll never.
If you played in the NFL, would you have walked around with your own jersey on?
No, man. In hell no.
I don't think I would have done college, but if I made the pros, I'd walk around at least once or twice with my own jersey on.
Might as well. I mean, you walked around with your referee outfit on, and that was a high level that you made. So back in the day, yep, there we are. Back in the day, I was, there were a couple beautiful ladies that were lucky enough to wear my high school jersey when I was, hitting the gridiron. So yeah, I never wore my own out, but sure enough, there were a few that had it on. Aaron and Roy don't even see that chat. I left the chat, but yeah.
Oh, I see.
Nah, but speaking of Bobbitt, I tell you what.
Time I've done that already, twice pre-show and once during the show.
Do you remember, Chad, the game at Fifth Third Arena? Number 3 Louisville comes to town. Bobbitt had like a back-to-back triples made. Lenny Stokes saves the ball from going out of bounds, hits it off a Louisville player. Fifth Third just erupts. So the place was outstanding. Bobbitt, one of my all-time favorites. So shouts to Tony. But yeah, Aaron, you've been doing a lot of driving recently. So I would give you a little bit of a tip. The next time that you are back in Cincinnati, head over to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Get your car checked out, man. That's a lot of driving, Aaron. That's a lot of driving. Get an oil change. See if you need a fixing. Get $10 off that oil change. Get 10% off that fixing. If you go ahead and mention the BBP, mention BCJ, mention Chad, Ryan, Aaron, mention myself. Danco Transmission Auto Care. Love you, Danco Joe.
Wear a Brent Young high school football jersey and you get 20% off.
You know what? If you dig that up, hit me up and I'll send you the Venmo. I'll pay for the whole dang thing. How about that? How about that? But yeah, speaking of throwback Cincinnati basketball players, we're gonna tie a bow on what took place in Fifth Third Arena on Friday night. First off, there was no greater joy walking around Fifth Third Arena's concourse and seeing fans wearing those, blue shirts from that team that's located up in Norwood, and walking around with a little sadness on their faces. Little did I know, a couple hours later, that I'd be feeling the same way. But yet again, for the second straight summer, I found myself thoroughly locked in on a basketball game and letting my emotions take toll as the Nasty Natty fell in the opening round of the TBT tournament. The number one seed Nasty Natty falling to About Billions 70-67. And if you want a game that literally had absolutely everything, you can look back at this Nasty Natty game against About Billions. It had a storyline leading in. Only 6 available players for the Nasty Natty, as Chad and Keegan were tweeting out. Broyko Payne was going to magically appear in the second quarter at some point. You also had the interesting side storyline of a national Microsoft giant scam and shutdown and whatever it was that kind of set everything off kilter, that affected flights for numerous players that were coming in. That didn't show up on my bingo card leading into the Nasty Natty game. And then, of course, there was the scuffle involving the player that was playing the best for the Nasty Natty, Mamadou Diarra, who led to him getting kicked out, and leading to everyone on About Billions bench except for Trevor Moore, which is what exactly they explained over the loudspeaker, being kicked out as well. And then, of course, Trevor Moore goes off for that third quarter tirade from deep, and every single time gave a kiss to his 2 fingers and pointed up into the air to everyone at the Fifth Third Arena crowd. And boy, oh boy, there was nothing worse than seeing that. In the end,
Diego Guevara-esque.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He was doing his best impression, but in the end, man, I tell you what, there was so many different plays that led to a tough one. But I want to say my favorite thing was enjoying some Cincy Lights. I sat a few seats down from one Chad Brendel in the crowd as we slowly figured it out.
What a crew you were with.
Yeah. Motley crew, man.
What a crew you were with. Those are my guys, though. I love all those guys.
Oh yeah, man.
I won't name
stories
names
for days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make Cronin stories for days.
That's a heck of a group.
It is. But man,
where was Lily? Was he not, like, he couldn't make it?
I have no idea.
He's usually with that crew somewhere. If that crew is around, right, Lily is usually somewhere nearby.
Right. I don't think he was at the wedding that I went to on Saturday. Shouts to Bucky Cooper. Congratulations on the wedding. But I have no idea where he was that night. But it was an interesting game, Chad. You and Aaron talked about it, and on last night's nightcap. One of the stranger games I've really been able to take in at Fifth Third Arena, and there have been some pretty interesting ones throughout the years. I don't know, just overall
stupid. It was such bad basketball.
Like,
Jared, like, I don't know. I think there's a question about this in the mailbag. I don't know that I've ever seen a player go 0 for 17 at any point ever in the history of basketball, much less one the caliber of Jaron Cumberland, who literally was the best player in the TBT last year. Missed his first 17 shots. I think Royer could have gone 1 for 17.
I would agree with that, actually. And not
let's call 6 for 17. We'll leave it at that.
It was open, like, other than a couple times he just got crushed, like driving to the rim, got like destroyed. But most of the shots were open, like good shots, and he was front rim short every time.
I mean, I'm looking back at every box score that he had from games, and there's 1 5 for 17. That's somewhat close. But no, he never had anything remotely close to that night. It was tough to watch. And, like the scuffle, like it was one of those where you saw that coming from a mile away, where it was just physical. Obviously these two teams probably somewhat know each other a little bit. And I mean, they're just mouthing back and forth. And I kind of just had that vibe, like, okay, something's about to go down. And then, of course, down the stretch, at the 17-point lead for About Billions, Nasty Natty locks in and it goes on a miraculous run to even make it a game at the end. And phantom shot clock, got to check it out type situation when Cincinnati has the ball, when Nasty Natty has the ball, and they have to do a sideline inbound and they turn it over right away. And then, gosh, back-to-back post touches for Coriante DeBerry and Octavius Ellis, and they can't finish. Little bunnies. I don't know. It was interesting, to say the least. And also, but though you look at it like that, the bulk of that roster was obviously not there. And the bulk of the roster that wasn't there would have been the best players that the Nasty Natty would have had available. So plenty of different factors went into it. And man, for all the magic that they had last year, it was tough to take in on Friday night. There's no doubt about that. Aaron,
I'm just going to say, I'm honest. I'm so glad I didn't have to go back Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to bed at like 4:00 Saturday morning. Right. So I was just ecstatic. I was not required to be in attendance on Sunday. So they kind of did me a favor. People look at this way too. Like, just relax. It's a fun summer thing. This is not like worth, like, people were stressed out over it. It is not. Maybe if they get to like this, like the Final Four or the finals, I'm talking about 2 days later, people were still stressed out about it.
Oh, yeah.
Relax. It's like, it's not that serious. I promise it's not.
No, it's not. But it is fun. You know, I saw Trilly Donovan tweeted out saying, you know what, the TBT is successful because of nostalgia, and everyone loves nostalgia. And you know, it was there. You know, I never thought I'd see Deshaun Mormon play a huge bulk of minutes, you know, repping a Cincinnati type team, but yet, you know, here we are, and he tried his hardest. And in the end, the 6 available that Cincinnati had, you have the multiple bigs, and I mean, surprisingly, Mamadou Diarra. Yeah, 3 centers.
6 players, 3 of them were centers.
Like legit centers. Like at one point it was like Octavius and Coriante on the floor together, and I'm just like, oh gosh, we never saw that during their playing time, and yet here we are seeing it now. But I don't know. And then Troy was literally fresh off a car ride, you were saying, on the nightcap, and he's getting practice shots up during a dead ball timeout. Like, that's literally the scenario that we were in.
No, he was back shooting during the scuffle. He walked away from the scuffle, went to the other rim, and was getting some threes up while they were sorting through a fight on the other end of the floor. He made more threes during that warm-up than they made the whole game.
With the crowd cheering after every make that he had. It was just nuts.
It was so stupid. I was just laughing the entire time.
It was hard to stomach. Man, it's
hard to watch.
Like you said, Darren, like, oh my gosh. You go from leading scorer in the TBT last year to couldn't make anything. It was just it was hard to watch. In the end, you know, they still had a chance down there during the Elam ending. Still, you know, just a couple bunnies that were missed. I like
the crazy shot clock violation, or not violation, but the crazy shot clock call where they paused Troy bringing the ball up, and then they have to inbound it and turn over because they didn't get the shot clock running, despite the referee still having the shot clock manually. Whatever, the whole thing.
Just check. You should in an event like that, you should just check it up at midcourt. Like, you shouldn't have to take it out of bounds.
Especially in the TBT.
You screwed up. We didn't screw up.
Right. They didn't do anything wrong. That was so dumb.
And it also looked like they had some high ball screen action coming on that play.
Did. Troy had called it for the high ball screen, and he had I agree. And just dumb. And then the whole thing was dumb.
A breakaway alley-oop to Oct, and gosh, just tired legs, I would imagine, at that point. And you know, and then you have that, like, you know, they call that sideline out of bounds play, and it just sets up to try and get a post touch to Coriante, and it's just like, I mean, Coriante is dog tired at that point.
All of them were because it was
Why
only
not just
6 of them playing.
Get Jaron downhill, get fouled, go to the line. In the end, I'm just happy Trevor Moore didn't hit the game winner. I'm happy he missed a free throw to extend the game. Yeah, that was interesting. And Chad, how about that? There was a fan for About Billions a couple rows behind us, and he was all in on About Billions. That was for doggone true.
Well, the best part was at the end, when it looked like Nasty Natty was going to win, he got out of the stands and got down on the floor to make a quick exit because he had made an ass of himself the entire game.
Yep.
And he was afraid that it was going to go down. It's calm down, man.
I know. Man, I gotta tell you what, one thing I guess I'll say from it all is the fact that, most games that I'm at recently, especially with the renovated arena, have just been when, I'm working on press row. It is cool taking in a game at Fifth Third, and golly, that place is immaculate. And obviously the volume wasn't up with the amount of people in the arena, but the Cincy lights tasted crisp. The hot pretzel was a little hard, but hey, you know what? We can work on that. And then, and plus, it was probably TBT. That's a TBT thing. So
it's everyone's off season, Brent. It's everyone's off season.
Exactly.
Those pretzels were actually from February and March.
Right. So that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought West Virginia Senior Day they had 30 left over, and they said let's.
Yet somehow it's still better than Heritage Bank Arena.
The NIT, those were NIT pretzels, Brent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you had the Bradley game. It was, Connor Hickman's parents bought it and said, you know what, we don't really want this. You can just hold it, and that was the one that we got. So that makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. But yeah, like you said, can't put too much credence into it. It would have been cool to see them go on a run similar to what they did this past year. But I tell you what, the TBT organizers that put it together probably had to be beyond themselves. Oh, wait, why are ticket sales extremely down at Fifth Third Arena when we put the two Cincinnati teams there with the hope of them playing against each other in the second round? It's oh wait, never mind. That
actually they wouldn't have played until tomorrow night because they were
regional, yeah, right. Yeah. But even so, there would have been more people than I mean, golly, I turned it on for a second yesterday, and there was maybe 20 people there. It's just man,
and 15 of them were working.
Right, exactly. But man, in the end, the roars were loud when Nasty Natty was coming back, and it just gets you a little excited for what's going to be coming up in just a short few months. When the true team is back in Fifth Third Arena playing for a shot to go back to the NCAA tournament. Aaron, any final closing remarks on About Billions, Adrian Bronner, the Boxers Club, a little finale where the Nasty Natty falls and are out of the tournament after round one?
Just, I mean, you got another shot at it next year. Hopefully, you have the boys here without any playing issues next year. And get back after one more time. Maybe Gary's able to play next year. Hopefully Trey Scott's able to be back next year. Obviously, barring any NBA dreams being answered. But we'll see.
You know what I really wonder, and Chad, I don't know if you would know anything about this. I don't know why the TBT doesn't push out one more week so that all of these players that are in the summer league.
Because then you would have even more players leaving for Europe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh well, I mean, they'll be back. The roster looked awesome on paper, but like you said, Aaron, just complications and weren't able to get everyone there. And you know what? Maybe next year the ability to have all of them available would lead to some more success.
The problem was that About Billions team was awful. They should have dusted the floor with them rather easily without a full roster. And then all of your roster is there on Sunday and you're good for the rest of the tournament. That's what the frustrating part is more than anything is if they win that game, although that team they would have played yesterday was pretty good. I don't know if you saw everybody that was on that that Red Rose Thunder team.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
It was hold on. This box score is not coming up. Marcus Kennedy was on that team. Like it was pretty loaded. I was like, dang, that would have been a pretty good game if Nasty Natty actually had their squad.
Right. And that's the big if, because
D'Angelo Hunter, Marcus Kennedy, Akil Carr, the Crime Stopper.
Yeah. It's good squad.
Malik Martin, like they had a good team.
And then of course I watched that Metamaki Purdue's team versus Assembly Ball Indiana's team, and gosh, like just the overall basketball, it's just so obvious that putting together a team like that kind of last second, only having one or two practices, leads to some rough basketball at times, which is why you have so many Cincinnati players that you can put on one team. Maybe they're able to mesh a little bit better, but who knows? We'll have to have the same similar feelings next July as TBT rolls back around. So I don't know. In the end, one and done for the Nasty Natty, but vibes were good inside of Fifth Third Arena until everything came all very strangely to a halt. So down 17, you still come back and take the lead up. That's Bearcat resilience, and I'll hang my hat on that. Anything more on this, Royer? Your thoughts on just the TBT, so that we can move on. What are your glaring thoughts? What kind of changes you want to make in the basketball tournament TBT?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really tune into it.
I figured that was gonna be
shocked.
Yeah, I mean, if they made it deep into it, I would probably turn it on and watch. But I don't really know much about it. I don't really watch it unless there's nothing really else on. It's not really my cup of tea. But I think it's good that especially you're back at the arena and you give the chance for the fans to be able to go and like Chad was beating the drum on nostalgia, like being able to watch the guys when you were younger, or when you were growing up as a kid, and when the Bearcats were humming and they're going deep into the tournament and winning a lot more games, being able to go back into a new arena and watch them still get after it. It's definitely a cool thing, and I'm glad they do it, but I just don't pay much attention to it myself.
Could you ever imagine football doing something similar to this?
It would have to be 7-on-7, but
7-on-7
would be a blast.
No, you got to go full go.
Full go, baby.
If you die, you die.
It's like Notre Dame.
Drago.
Notre Dame intramural football is full pads.
Yeah.
Imagine just all the boys out there had
really
glory days.
Notre Dame intramural football is full pads.
Yeah.
So is Ohio State.
That's outstanding.
Isn't that wild?
My buddies did it.
Yeah. I had a couple of buddies that did it at Notre Dame, and they were like, it was awesome, but everyone would get hurt. but but they would train.
Of course,
color me shocked. Who saw that coming?
But they would train and still be fit, and my buddy wanted to be ran for $120 and 2 tutties this weekend, and we're like, what? He's like, yeah, Notre Dame intramural. We're like, okay, right on.
Oh,
good job.
God.
Good job. But I mean, I'd love to see.
Let's be done with this.
I'd love to see Hayden Moore sling the rock around a little bit. It'd be fun to watch. But either way, that's the bow on the old Nasty Natty. But speaking of nostalgia, speaking of Fifth Third Arena, speaking of fun, we actually had a great question that was in the mailbag a couple of weeks ago.
We got a timestamp first.
Okay.
Let's timestamp. Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly, low minimum next-day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom-printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick, 513-470-2029, and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby. But quick shout out to AC Mazzaro. Posted this question a couple of weeks ago. He's going to repost it. And of course, this is the middle of summer, so this is when all the podcasts around the country do some sort of fun little game type segments. So this is gonna be a fun one. He said, "How about a quick snake draft where Brent, Aaron, and Royer each draft teams of 5 from the current roster, 13 plus the 2 non-scholarship guys, and Chad provides comments and decides which squad wins." So we're gonna dive in. This will be a little fun summer activity for the boys here. And so we're talking all scholarship players, and then of course you're going to throw in CJ Anthony and JJ Rembert. So it's gonna be a blast. Chad, your idea on how we can go ahead and get a bit of a draft order set. It's gonna be snake.
I don't know. Just figure it out.
Okay. Let's go.
I don't care. Figure it out.
We'll go youngest to oldest. How about that? There you go. Royer first, me second, Aaron, then back to me, then back to Royer for 2. And we'll,
can you guys
we'll
see
get
that
going.
Is that big enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
all right. Damn. This is hard.
You get the first pick.
I know. I'm gonna go Dan.
Okay. Good pick. And I'm gonna write these down so that we can have it back. I'm
gonna write down my.
You can take that down for a second, Aaron, so we can see. Or here, there we go.
So Royer picks Dan Skillings Jr. We'll slide him in at shooting guard. Can play small forward. Can even play the 4 for you if you want to. For me, I'm gonna go with give me. In this type of setting, I think Jizzle James would do very well. So I'll take Jizzle.
Is this going to be like 4-on-4?
No, it's 5-on-5. There's 15 total.
It'll be 5-on-5. There's 15 guys. You got 13 scholarship players and 2 walk-ons.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
All right, Aaron.
Poor JJ Rembert.
All right, so you have Dan and Jizzle off the board. So with back-to-back picks, I'm going to take Dylan Mitchell and Simas Lukosius.
All righty.
Aaron gets his favorite Bearcat.
I did. Dylan Mitchell. Let's go.
Wow. All right, back to me. I will take Connor Hickman at my shooting guard. I got Jizzle and Hickman. Back to you, Royer. You got 2 picks. You got Skillings.
All right. I'm going to go Day and Aziz.
Nice. All righty. Back to me. I'll take Arlington Page. Back to Mr. Aaron with 2 picks.
Yep. I'm going. I will go.
This is riveting.
It's fantastic podcast.
I'm going to go Tyler Betsy and CJ Frederick.
All righty. Aaron's really, really killing it with the back-to-backs. I'll tell you that much. All righty, back to me. All righty. So, Page.
Oh my
All right,
God.
I'll go with
so
Rayvon Griffith.
Who's left?
All right. So, Royer, you got Dede Thomas, Dan Skillings Jr., Aziz Bandago. I've got Jizzle, Hickman, and Rayvon, and Arlington Page.
Josh Reed is left. CJ Anthony is left. JJ Rembert's left. Tyler McKinley's left.
Tyler McKinley.
All right, I'm going to go Josh and McKinley.
Tyler McKinley. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh man, damn. Okay, so then I will take the shooter, CJ Anthony.
Aaron gets his point guard, JJ Rimbert.
My point guard situation is a mess.
All righty, so let's see here. So Ryan has Day Thomas, Dan Skillings Jr., Josh Reed, Tyler McKinley.
Arlington Page.
No. Tyler
No,
McKinley
no.
and Aziz Bandago.
Yeah. Ryan's got the best team.
I've got Jizzle, CJ Anthony, Connor Hickman, Rayvon Griffith, and Arlington Page. Aaron's got JJ Rembert, CJ Frederick, CMOS the coaches. Oh, no, yeah. Dylan Mitchell.
And Tyler Betsy.
Tyler Betsy. All right, Chad, break it down.
Ryan's got the best team. Aaron, unfortunately, because you had to go last, I would probably have had you ahead of Brent, but the JJ Rembert versus CJ Anthony pick gives the nod to Brent. So it just goes in order of how you picked.
Truthfully,
okay.
I'd probably have CMOS running the point forward, given that situation, and keep the ball out of JJ Rembert's hands at all costs.
Oh, JJ Rembert could show you things. Yeah. Ryan doesn't quite have the shooting though. And
it's all
Dan's
right.
been working on his shot this offseason. That's the word on the street.
He's working with the shot doctor, so
Josh has been working on that hierarchy lefty shot. He's gonna get a couple to fall. 3 and D, Josh.
Yeah.
That's the thing is Ryan's team is going to lock you. Like they'll be the best defensively by a pretty good margin.
Oh, and we'll have Day coming off the Big 12 tournament, and he was just lighting it up. So
yeah, Royer.
That's how he's going to be when he plays for me.
Royer wins by default. That's for sure. I think Hickman and Jizzle, Page down low. I kind of like my squad.
I don't dislike your squad. I just think Ryan's is better.
Yeah, Ryan's is better. Ryan's got what? Potentially 2, maybe 3 starters, depending on the day Jizzle thing. I think Jizzle will take the start. I've got 1, maybe 2 starters, and Aaron has probably 2 starters. So it's a good little lineup, good little thing. Tom Rosenbauer. So how bored are you guys? You know what? We're out here trying to produce good segments.
It's our last summer show. Like next week, we are, 1 day from the start of camp. We'll be able to really dive into camp on next week's show. We are limping to the finish line of summer. That is summer at this point.
Yeah. Well, but luckily the football mailbag's pretty strong this night. So we'll be able to do a little bit more deep dive into that one. I think the main thing that I liked about this exercise is the fact that we've already mentioned it. It's depth. And, you can look at all 3 of those squads and you can make reasonable arguments for like, okay, best, 3 out of 5 games. Each squad could probably win at least one in a matchup against the other one. So depth is awesome to see. And also in the Meet the Bearcats today, it was Arlington Page. Chad, is he a case of I'm sure you don't know his whole life, but could he be a case of a guy that, he was 6'4" as a sophomore, he was saying, and now he's 6'11", where it's like the guard skills, the perimeter type skills kind of developed as he grew vertically. And like you see with Anthony Davis and different players like that who have kind of hit that growth spurt throughout the latter part of their high school career.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of something that is a positive if you're Cincinnati and in development, as he is still growing into his body because he's still growing. So you hope that, working with Mike Rayfelt, that contributes to even more upside that he already had when he was 6'9". Now he's 6'11". So 6'11", can shoot, really moves well, is light on his feet. The thing that stood out to me, though, is that he seems to be more comfortable talking than he was 2 to 3 years ago when I saw him out on the AAU trail. He was a quiet kid that was a little camera shy. He did not look to be nearly as camera shy as he used to be. So it was nice to see him kind of coming out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah, a little confidence builder. I'm sure getting over mono, dominating mono, and then coming back even stronger helps give you a little boost as well. So excited to see as this team continues to develop and go into to the year. Are they still doing the same workouts up until the school year, or is there like a pause before the school year?
No, there's a pause. So they'll end at the end of July.
Okay.
So 9 more days available for summer workouts, and then they'll be able to start back up once school starts. So really they'll get a couple weeks off. They'll be able to do basically like workout hours, where they'll get 4 hours a week on the court, 4 hours a week with Ray Felt up until the official start of practice. And then they're able to go like the 20 hours a week into the start of the season.
Well, hey, I'm sure you'll be able to make it out to some potentially as the
I'm gonna try.
The weeks get crazy. Yeah.
Volleyball dad life has taken full control of my existence right now. So I'm gonna do what I can, but I can't promise a whole lot. That's why I went to as many as I could prior to this week hitting. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get out there, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, there we go. Well, that's that for basketball, because we're gonna continue to build up to the season and build up to what's going to be an awesome chance to really succeed in the Big 12 and beyond this year. So let's go ahead and hit that timestamp. It's time for my favorite segment that comes every single week.
Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Items like to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins, etc. They have been open since 2009, are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. And that brings us to the new riff, Riffin' with Royer. Let me find it in here. There we go. Fiercely independent and unabashedly innovative, New Riff produces award-winning bourbon, rye whiskey, and gin at their distillery in Newport, Kentucky. The Aquafire Tasting Room, located on the 3rd floor of the distillery, features cocktails, flights, and pours of New Riff's entire line of spirits, including rare, limited edition, and distillery exclusive releases. Bearcat Journal listeners can save 50% on distillery tours when you use the code Bearcats24. For more information or to book a tour, visit newriffdistilling.com.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. And by the way, I'm sorry to is it Ryan, the name of the guy from New Riff? That's your connect there?
No,
Chad?
Bobby.
Okay, Bobby. Okay, so he was I saw him at Fifth Third when for the Nasty Natty game. He said he needs to get he said he needs to get the whole crew going to the distillery, check it out, get a tour, and then he wants to get Royer his own bottle so that he can take a shot before he riffs every single week. So it's going to be lined up and it's going to work out. So and I told him that we had it on the Kansas trip, the one bottle, and he loved it. He said I told Chad to drink it because I will get you more. So shouts to Bobby. It was nice meeting you, and I'm excited for that eventual tour throughout New Riff. But take it away, Ryan.
Just what my body needs, an extra shot on a Monday to throw into the concoction.
With the boys.
Yeah. Another kind of, I tried to think of something a little more, I hope Chad doesn't turn off his screen for this one. I don't know what he's going to think about it.
Oh God, here we go.
If you could pick one of the Bearcats from the current basketball roster to, if you were on the court during that big brawl that occurred, who would you pick on the current roster by your side if you were in one of those benches clearing brawls and things are going down?
Who's your enforcer?
First off,
who's your enforcer?
It was not a brawl. There was nothing about it that was a brawl.
All right, then like the one with X,
the Xavier fight. That was a brawl. There was a guy that crawled off the mat with a broken face. That was a brawl.
Shouts to Yancey Gates, man. I tell you what. Chad, did you even get a good look at what happened on that? Like, Mamadou got tackled.
Mamadou got tackled. I think he took exception and
kicked the guy, maybe
swung a little bit, like like one of these.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a punch.
Right.
But they had 10 guys there immediately. It was 10-on-1 immediately.
Right. And then Jaren pushed the guy, but luckily Jaren didn't get a second tee, or else that would have been
that would have been a rough rest of the night.
Yeah.
But anywho.
Maybe.
On the current team, who would I want? Probably Day. Like pound for pound. Like I don't know that any of the bigs are enforcer types per se.
Right. I'm going Dan.
Dan's a lover, not a fighter. That's my read on Dan.
Lanky.
If he fights with the same energy he plays with.
Well, then his first swing. Then his first swing's always gonna miss.
Yeah.
I actually just remember
goes to the third row.
He paints his nails and he's a TikTok guy, so I don't know if he really wants to get down and scrap it out.
Maybe Ray. Ray's pretty yoked.
Yeah, Jizzle maybe. No,
I take it back. I got my pick.
Who you got?
Mitchell or
Seamus.
Page?
Seamus is Eastern European.
He got hit by a car.
He's got crazy in him. He got hit by a car and walked away. I'm going Seamus without question. I like now that I really think about it, I think there's an undisputed clear winner here, and that's the guy from Eastern Europe that got hit by a car and played basketball like a week later.
And he's 6'8", 230.
Yeah,
and he talks that stuff on the court too. So
did I mention he's Eastern European?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a safe pick. Who you picking, Royer? Dan, you said?
You said Dan.
Yeah. But I started to walk back on my.
But I'm
gonna stick with him.
He's got the reach. I'll give you that much. So, yeah, it's a good one. But still, I'd probably phone a friend and just see how far away Yancey Gates was from the arena and see if he can't join back real fast.
Probably smart.
Give me Page.
Okay.
Call him broad. That's the enforcer type.
Give me that length, the athleticism.
Whoa.
I like it.
I don't agree with that at all, but
pause. Holy hell. That was a big one.
Yes, it was indeed.
Good Lord.
All right, Royer, next one.
This one's
summer's over.
This is a stupid one. What's your guys' skyline order? Let's talk about that. It's not much. Chad's back.
I'm easy. Three-way. Well, the normal skyline order, because I usually get it for lunch. The lunch order is just 3 cheese conies, no onions. The dinner order is a 3-way and a cheese coney, no onions. But you guys want to know the truth? Since they got rid of Mountain Dew, I haven't been to Skyline.
Holy That's called a firm strike.
Unreal.
It just It's part of the order. And now that my order is not whole, it does not come to my brain as like, let's go to Skyline. Like that's
you can get Mountain Dew at 400 other places.
No, you can't. Coke is taken over almost everywhere. Like,
go to the
hard to
gas
get Mountain Dew
station. Go to the gas station.
I don't want to stop at the gas station. I want to go to Skyline and get my damn order.
Big ass Polar Pops, 32 ounce, whatever size you want.
Then I have to go out of my way to the gas station.
It's good for. I mean, you're getting a giant pop. It's gonna behoove you to take the 17 steps in and out of the store to get your Polar Pop.
It's not that. It's like having to extra from the Skyline to the gas station.
My goodness.
I wanted in and out. Bang, bang. I'm out. I'm good. I imagine like I'm more of a doctor. I've made the switch basically to Dr. Pepper from Mountain Dew. I very rarely drink Mountain Dew anymore. It's almost always Dr. Pepper. So as long as they probably have Mr. Pibb.
No, they have Dr. Pepper.
No,
okay,
they have
Dr. Pepper. All right, then I'll probably the next time I go to Skyline, I'll probably get a Dr. Pepper, and I'll have made that switch official that everywhere I go, I get Dr. Pepper.
Good. Okay. I'm a firm believer that it is a different order and should be for everyone if you're eating in versus eating out, because the portions are very different when you're doing anything way, whether that be 3-way, 4-way, 5-way. Whether that be the regular size or the large size, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it used to be jumbo, and then they got rid of that wording, and now they just call it large. But if I'm going in, I'm getting a 5-way and a cheese coney. Sometimes I'll get the extreme cheese. Sometimes I won't. I switch it up every now and then, and sometimes I'll get it just on one. Sometimes I'll get it on both. Sometimes I'll get it on none. It doesn't. I'm a wild card as far as that goes. To go, sometimes I'll do Cholitos, sometimes I'll do cheese conies, sometimes I'll do.
Have I told you guys the Moegger hack on cheese conies to go, like drive-through cheese conies?
Cheese on the side.
Cheese on the side.
No, I like the congealed. I like the congealed cheese. I don't mind it.
Mogo's cheese on the side, so your cheese doesn't melt, and then when you get to your location, you've got fresh, cold shredded cheese to put on top of it.
Beast.
Aaron, I couldn't tell you the last time I ate in a Skyline.
Yeah, I'll sit at the bar by myself. I don't care.
Oh yeah, that was me. I would go to Ludlow and just sit there.
Yeah, I don't care. But sometimes I'll go Cholitos, sometimes I'll go coney, sometimes I'll go chili cheese fries to go. Sometimes I'll do a combination.
You go French fries in your Cholito, Godfather style?
No, I don't do any of that.
What's the way that you guys eat the 3-way? Is it the twirl? Is it the cut?
No, you cut.
Do you remember? It was what? I think that was Brandon.
I twirl.
Brandon and Steele.
I twirl.
During
that crosstown shootout.
Yeah, I twirl.
That's what an out of towner does.
I twirl and then scoop because I got the 5-way, so I got the onions and beans in there, so I got to twirl and then scoop.
No, you cut.
Yeah, I'm cut.
You don't even know what an onion tastes like. Get out of here.
I do know what an onion tastes like. It makes me throw up. It tastes like vomit. That's what an onion tastes like.
and then Dan Horde does the revolutionary way of he cuts, I believe, and then he puts a cracker on each bite for a little crunch.
I will not question anything that Dan Horde does. Nothing.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of effort.
Yeah, it is.
An individual cracker on each bite.
Cut, place, eat.
As far
as a lot
of
of crackers.
So
that would be easy to do if you're dining in because you've got the bowl of crackers. If you've got the bag of crackers, that's a lot of work to dig in the bag and get one cracker.
A lot of the places where you go in, though, they give you the bag and the bowl. So you can still put it in the bowl, but it starts in the bag. Yeah. They don't just bring you the bowl now at most locations.
So non-single Brent would order 2 chili cheese sandwiches, a 3-way, and 2 chili cheese Cholitos. One with the noodles inside. Other one with sour cream.
Hot dogs?
You know what? I went through a kick where I didn't really like them, but I'm coming back around on them. I do like a good glizzy here and there now, but forever I like that chili and cheese sandwich, man. For some reason, it's nostalgia. Nostalgia is the kicker on that one for me. But now single Brent would just be a 3-way and 2 chili cheese sandwiches with mustard and onion as well. So yeah, there we go. What's Royer's order?
All right. We go with the 2 Cholitos, add spaghetti, 1 with sour cream, 1 with chili ranch, and then 1 cheese coney all the way. And I normally only eat half of the second Cholito, and my girlfriend tells me, "Why do you always get that? You never finish it." And I say, "Don't tell me what to do," and storm out of the restaurant.
You cover the bill. Grab us a couple of 80s mints on the way out.
Oh yeah, always get the little
York peppermint patties.
York.
You do the York over the Andes?
Yep. They only have the York at the Ludlow. I only go there really. See my man. I don't remember his name. He's got a buzz cut.
Clearly near and dear to you. Clearly,
he's your man.
I called him credit card guy because he used to do these tricks with your credit card. He would like tap it and like swipe it really fast, like tap it and like hand it back to you. Like credit card guy. And then all of a sudden he just stopped doing it and he lost the twinkle in his eye. I don't know. I wish he'd get back to his old ways.
What a segment.
Mr. Credit Card Man, come over here.
I had a hell of a joke lined up there. I just didn't know how. I didn't know what rating it would receive from you guys. If it would be more rated R and getting
summer podcast. Tom Rosenbauer, you are correct. Dixie chili is the superior Cincinnati chili.
Huh. Yeah, there was a funny night where I spent, it was after a game, probably basketball game, night out with the boys, a little, popped a few pops back, and all of a sudden I lost all my friends. So I just decided I'm going to do a tour of Cincinnati chili spots. And I just went solo to like every single one I've never been to and slammed some down.
Chili was the best.
Is that the one that's in Newport?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that one was really good. And I couldn't even tell you all the ones I went to, but I went to a lot. So, and here we are back live, but quite a thrill.
Ryan.
Roy, you got one more? Was there like the Rose's pizza order or something?
God.
No, I was going to go at, who do you think, I'm trying to think of a way to not make this a long one. You got Ellie De La Cruz. He's racing 40-yard dash versus Alec Pierce, Trey Tucker, and Brian Cook.
Brian Cook.
He ran a 4.4. Do you think he stands any chance? How close do you think he gets to him?
Ellie wins pretty easily.
You think?
Yeah.
You think Ellie's running that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro, Trey Tucker ran a 4.3.
Yeah, I know.
At least 6'5".
Ellie's the fastest man from home to home in like one of the fastest in MLB history.
Yeah, but do they run like that though?
Yeah.
Do they run like the NFL?
Well, it's not up and down. He's running at an angle as he's rounding the bases the whole time, but
yeah. Oh, it's Ellie.
Yeah, I would say, and the only thing I will say is that it is a damn shame that they did not let Ellie steal a bag in the All-Star game after that missile that he. Yeah.
He should have just done it.
Yeah, you gotta let the league leader in bags get a bag in the All-Star game. So, but yeah, I'm also taking Ellie because people are saying that he's up there as the fastest man right now in sports, period. Who was it he was challenging to a race? Or someone said they wanted to race him?
Yeah. It was Tyreek Hill.
Oh, yeah, it was Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I think it was. So, hey.
I'd take Ellie. That man is fast on fast. Like, when you get legs that size moving. See, the thing like with the...
I guess 40-yard dash is a little different, though.
Yeah, Trey might get him in a 40. You give me 100, it's Ellie easy. Pulling away easy.
Right.
Like I was much faster at a 40-yard dash than I was 100 just because short legs.
Yeah.
Like I could churn out 40 real quick, but then the guys that were longer than me by like 70, 80 meters were pulling even and passing me.
Ellie doesn't even ever look tired when he runs.
No, he just flies.
Yeah.
I mean, the fastest man in the history of fast was 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Ellie reminds me of like Usain Bolt's like kind of running style.
Right. Gosh, the way he rounds the bases is nuts. He is just, it's a blur. Who would you guys say wins a 40-yard dash on the basketball team? Day probably.
Day.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's fast.
Very fast.
End to end, he is fast.
He is so fast.
Some might say elite speed.
Whoa.
Not Brian, but some.
It's a throwback.
There we go. Royer, I love you throwing in Alec Pierce, but I'm never giving that race to the boy. Sorry.
Alec was always Alec, Trey, and Cook just going at it. So
really,
I mean, do we just forget that Tyler Scott was faster than Trey Tucker?
I did forget about him.
Zero chance any of those guys wear their jerseys in public, their own jerseys in public.
I saw Alec at St. Elmo's one time rocking the 12 there, so I don't know about that.
On a chain?
Oh, full jersey, man.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a second.
Football pants on and everything. Yeah,
now you're lying.
Obviously. Roy, are you not taking Ellie?
I didn't think he could move like that, to be honest. I think football speed is like miles ahead of baseball speed. So I'm taking Trey.
Jerome? Where was Jerome?
I think Jerome was like game fast.
Yeah, Jerome's game fast.
I don't think Jerome wasn't like 40-yard fast. He was game fast.
Yeah.
He still was, but like the other guys were faster than him.
Yeah.
Cook was fast like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cook got out there.
Crazy. Yeah. He was a no-star.
I can't believe you just forgot Tyler Scott existed. That's my
God. No, that was bad.
Yeah, Tyler Scott posted a nice little reception he had at Bears training camp. So
yeah,
let's hope he has a big year too. Alec, the boy, needs a big year out of
he does
out there for Andy.
Well, while we're talking about former Bearcats in the NFL, what about Ivan Pace wearing the green dot, going from undrafted free agent to wearing the green dot, running the defense for the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
That guy single-handedly was the defense that year. His solo year in Cincinnati, that guy's unreal, absolutely unreal. What Cale Woodburn probably beating everyone. Let's just say that. We'll put my name behind that one.
On this year's team, he's probably him and probably Tyron Smith.
Some speed demons, man. Speed demons. There we go. Royer, anything more? Y'all tapped out over there?
That's all I had for you.
Hey man, that was a good one.
Hornet straws with the skyline on.
Hey man,
just trying to get some.
The season's almost here, Ryan. The season is almost here.
We all love
football questions.
Yeah.
Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning supplies, restroom supplies, everything for your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom. Well,
Mailbag.
I guess it's time for the mailbag. Just real quick, I was just strumming through Twitter. Cincinnati did make the cut, the final 9 schools for Davey and Hannah, so that's good to see.
Scheduled a visit, so I would hope so.
Yeah,
and weird to visit a school that's not in your top 9.
All right, but then he has scheduled 8 official visits as well, so that's That's fun. Take the free dinners. There we go. Let's mailbag it up.
Where in the world is Davion Hannah? All right.
Everywhere.
Literally.
Starting off in the football portion of the mailbag from Killer V. If Sorsby played all Big 12 level quarterback for the Bearcats, what is this team's ceiling given your perception of the talent around him?
7, 8 wins.
If he's all Big 12 level,
8
yeah,
is the ceiling.
I can't. I can't see 9. Like, not with as many questions as there are, as many things that needed to be fixed from a year ago. Even with a 8-4 in this league and it's an incredible jump from where they were a year ago. I can't, even with an all Big 12 quarterback, I can't talk myself into more than 8 wins at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at Kansas State, at Iowa State, yeah, I think you're close to 8 or 9. Just because if he's winning, if he's all Big 12, that means like not only is
are we talking first team or like third team? All Big 12 is still third team is still all Big 12,
right? If it's first team, I think it's 9 wins. Because you got to do something pretty spectacular to be first team all Big 12. But if it's like third team, yeah, probably 7 or 8 wins. Because, quarterback doesn't play both ways unless we're going to slide him in there at linebacker and see how it does, which would be pretty wild. Aaron, what you got on that one?
I don't know that there's any more I can add. I think we've hit all the talking points to get to 8 wins. I truly don't know if there's anything else I can add to this.
Right.
If the Bearcat defense played Iowa State-like and Sorsby simply managed the game efficiently, low interception total / average third down conversions, what is this team's ceiling?
8.
8. Same answer.
Yeah. I think 8 because what Iowa State hasn't won more than 7 games. What is it? Oh, they haven't won double-digit games their entire
existence.
So, defense is great.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So it's so you're talking about an Iowa State level defense and then just a solid quarterback. That's literally Iowa State. So 8 I think is on the dot.
Were they going for 10 when they had Purdy and they lost the Cotton Bowl?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Just
that was COVID, wasn't it? So
what an excellent troll job by Royer.
Yeah.
All right.
Purdy and the running back from Cincinnati was on the same team, right?
Dave Montgomery.
Yeah.
From Mount Healthy, I believe.
Correct.
All right. Can you remind us of the general schedule leading up to the season? What are the guys doing now? What have they been doing since spring camp? When is higher ground?
Real quick. It was COVID year. Chad, it was COVID year. 8-1 was the record that year. Aaron,
they only
and Royer. So
they do a lifting session throughout the summer, and then they have team workouts where it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire existence in sports. You are allowed to work out in the summer, but it is without a football.
Yeah.
I always forget about that, and then it becomes a thing again.
No football. No football at football practice.
But can't you like, as long as no coaches are present, you can have
but that's not like, to me, that's not workouts. Like, that's
right.
Getting out there and getting some work in. But anything that they do with like the staff in the vicinity, there's no football allowed.
Right.
What? I don't make it make sense. We're gonna let you guys get better at playing football without a football allowed in the. My brain can't wrap around that. I don't understand.
Hey, it worked for the team in Airbud when they used the invisible basketball. So
Jesus Christ.
It's gonna go away soon, I'm guessing.
Airbud, that's where we move on. Let's have some prediction fun before camp starts. With 11 CFP spots available to the Power Conference programs, give me your over-under prediction for number of teams from each conference. SEC, or from each conference making the CFP this season. SEC over under 3.5, Big 10 over under 2.5, Big 12 over under 1.5, ACC over under 1.5, Independents including Notre Dame over under 0.5.
Well, there has to be. G5 there will be one.
Correct.
I think I would imagine Notre Dame gets in. If Notre Dame doesn't get in, it's going to get a little uncomfortable for Marcus up there, I think.
yeah,
Come on home.
I think they'll get in though.
Come home, Marcus.
this 12-team playoff is literally set up for Notre Dame to get in every year.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have a good year. So
there's two.
It's got to be somewhat decent.
There's two. We need 4.
I say there's only one in the ACC.
SEC, I've taken over 3.5.
You think 4 get in?
Yeah, I think 4, right on the dot.
So what are we going? 4-3-2?
2-1.
Big 10 only getting 2.5 at over under. I'd take the over for sure.
Yeah, I'll take the over on Big 10.
They'll get at least 3. I think they'll get 3 for sure.
SEC, 3 Big 10. There's 7.
2 Big 12, 1 ACC. That's 10.
Okay. Yeah, then
Notre
one
Dame.
Independent, one G5.
Yep. Look at us. Wow.
We did it. We did that way more efficiently than
we normally struggle a little bit on those, but we kind of knocked that one out of the park. Good job.
Good job, everyone. We did it.
Good job, team. Good job,
Hooray!
Neato, team. Who will be 2, 3, and 4 in receptions at the end of the season, assuming Henderson is number 1?
This is a good question.
And to tie this in, Keegan just put up his while we were right when we went live. Keegan had his wide receiver article pop up on the site talking to wide receiver coach Brad Glenn. So make sure you're checking that out on the website.
Also, the offensive coordinator.
Yes, I would go Tony Johnson 2.
Okay.
Tyron Smith 3. Not sure on 4.
I will go based solely off of my college football 25 experience. I will go number 2, Aaron Turner, number 3, Tyron Smith, and number 4, Joe Royer.
There you go. Yeah, I think the number 3 receiver last year on last year's team was Shaman. So I think the offense does get, wants to get the tight ends involved. So I think that Royer finds himself in there. I don't know if it would be at 3 or 4, but I do think Tony Johnson too. If he just gains control of that number 2 receiver thing, it's just going to be kind of by default. But although, Braden Smith was second on the team in receptions, he was the slot guy last year. So you might see Tyron Smith kind of knocking up there. So I think 2 and 3 would be Smith and Johnson, and then fourth would be the boy, Mr. Joe Royer. Ryan, who you got?
Oh, I forgot Royer. I might have Royer at 3.
Yeah.
I think Sorsby's going to find him a lot.
I'm tailing you, Brent.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, like, the amount of times that Sat brought up Joe Royer kind of unneeded during media days and throughout different,
I think the only question there is, like, does he stay healthy?
Right. Yeah. That just makes you think they're going to get him heavily involved. And also, I was pretty interested to hear that Sat kept on mentioning they're going to get a lot of tight ends involved, which means those freshmen are going to play. It
Kevin Grover is going to play.
Yeah. So
as
I
a
guess
pass catching option, Grover's going to play.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a running back try and work their way into those top 4 spots either, whether it be Corey or.
Yeah, I just wonder if they'll
Corey.
split time enough, Aaron, that it'll spread it out some.
Yeah, because I mean, I was pretty surprised to see that Kiner only had 12 receptions last year, and then Ryan Montgomery had 11, and Miles had 5.
Kiner did make sure to mention that though at media days that he'd been working on his hands in the offseason. So, all right. Any info if Dante has had tests showing no hematologic? Is that how we pronounce that word? Yes, we'll go with that. Or genetic predisposition to blood clots and might be cleared this season for contact.
I'm curious who you think on the medical staff is going to divulge that information.
Oh, that was good.
No, I don't know. The other thing is I would never ask because nobody's ever going to tell me. They say that things are moving in the right direction and he's trending towards playing. Like that's what we're going to get in terms of medical information on the specifics of Dante's blood clots. So, yeah.
All right.
There's this thing called HIPAA that is a wall between sports websites and detailed player information on blood clots.
I'm not touching any of that. Last question in the football portion of the mailbag. Let's talk special teams. Sounds like Fletcher is good to go. Do I remember that we have a new long snapper? Anyone know if he can do the job? Do we have the same place kicker as last year? And then our return game was bad last year. Who are the candidates to take over this season? Most important, who will be our gunners?
That's mostly like the returners and the gunners. We'll find out at higher ground. That's they're just not going to give us, you don't know that until you actually see them out there kind of returning kicks until you get a good feel of who they're who's gonna. So stay tuned for practice reports because that will be something that that we detail when we get an opportunity. Gunners, that's another one that it's gonna be interesting. Long snapper, his name is Jaden Perry. He is a transfer from Indiana State. Last year, he was their starting long snapper. The last 2 seasons, starting long snapper, perfect on all snap attempts during his career. So he's never had a bad snap. That would seem to be a positive development.
And he lit up that one dude, forced a fumble in the Purdue game. So
yeah,
shouts to him. I am pretty interested to see what the Gunner situation is. First off, because we're a Gunner podcast, and second off,
this is the #1 Gunner podcast in Bearcat Nation.
Exactly, and second off, there's so many good young DBs on the roster. I don't know if one of them like kind of carves out a role, in being a special teams ace, and then also on top of it is return wise. You got to think maybe DJ Taylor, maybe Tyron Smith. I think there's a lot of good options back there, especially if Taylor can kind of reignite the success he had as a kickoff return and punt returner that he had at Arizona State. I was kind of always interested why he never really got a crack at it last year, but we'll see. Stay tuned, as Chad said. And place kicker, Carter Brown. Oh boy.
You're muted or something.
That's my fault. That's the football portion of the mailbag. Moving on to the basketball portion of the mailbag. In your experience in watching basketball at any level, how often does a team Sorry, I'm working with one screen tonight. Overcome an 0 for 17 shooting performance to start the game from its leading scorer and highest volume shooter. Can you remember a Bearcat game where a player started the game shooting as poorly as 0 for 10? I think we had a 1 for 10 DDJ a few years back. P.S. The rest of the team would have to shoot 17 of 25 or 68% just to bring the team shooting percentage to 40% with one player shooting 0 for 17.
Like I said, I don't ever remember anything like 0 for 17.
No.
Crazy.
And the fact that they were literally in the game, like, just shows you how
is a miracle. Yeah, that's how bad About Billions was.
Right. I just want to erase that.
They needed an out-of-body experience from Trevor Moore and still should have lost.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, like Killer V said, the only way to come back from it is having everyone else shoot miraculously. Sadly, for the TBT Nasty Natty team, the people that had to shoot miraculously was Deshaun Mormon and Troy. That Troy doesn't really shoot too much, so or some big men. So they were kind of behind the 8 ball there.
All right. Random thought. Any insight as to what happened with Jermaine Lawrence when he was at UC? Was he highly rated just off potential? Can't remember another 5-star looking so deer in the headlights.
Oh, it's sad because I think a lot of the Jermaine Lawrence story was determined before he even got here because he just got a lot of bad advice. Like, he was tall and he was skilled, but he needed a lot of development. And if he would have just listened to the people that were in charge of his development here, I think he would have been fine. Like, I don't know that he would have been an all-conference player, but he would have ended up being a pretty heavy rotation player and probably a starter later in his career. But they just believed it's a case of somebody that was running the show that didn't know basketball and thought because he was a 5-star. And remember, he was like 25th. Like, he was like the last 5-star, essentially. Because he had that label that he was a one and done, and they essentially. And I want to leave his parents out of this because I think his parents were kind of innocent in this whole thing, other than picking the wrong person or agreeing to the wrong person, like being at the forefront of the decision-making process. I think he would have been a good player if he had kept his head level, but they fully believed that he was going to be here 1 year and be in the NBA. And he was nowhere near ready for that. And he got a lot of bad advice. People steered him in the wrong direction. He might have liked the devil's lettuce a little more than he should have. That also compounded some issues because if I remember correctly, he failed one drug test and then they scheduled a second drug test. And at that point, he quit basketball. Mm-hmm. So it's an unfortunate tale because he really was actually a nice kid. Like, I liked Jermaine Lawrence when he was here, but the advice he would get when he would go back home to New York was awful. And in the end, it ended up costing a talented kid probably a pretty successful college career, leading into, if nothing else, a career making money playing basketball overseas. And a cautionary tale, if you will.
All right.
I haven't heard anything about him in a long time.
All right. Well, and then the last question in the basketball portion of the mailbag. 12 months ago, the expectations for Aziz were very high. The fan base has cooled a bit. Is that fair considering he fought a back injury and missed the first 8 games? Do you feel the staff has more to unlock there?
Yes and no. I think once he got going, he was exactly what he was supposed to be. I think fans' expectations were unrealistic that he was ever going to be an offensive threat. That was never his game. At Utah State, he was a lot like he caught lobs. At Cincinnati, they couldn't throw lobs for him to catch. So that cut out like 4 points a game for good old Aziz. The other thing was at Utah Valley, at Utah Valley, they could shoot. So there was spacing. And at Cincinnati, everybody just tagged Aziz and said, don't let him get a lob to this guy. So he very rarely had a chance for open lobs.
God, I hope we get away from shitty lobs this year.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I liked about Aziz, and I think that he'll be able to do even more now that he has AP available to back him up and provide quality minutes, is he worked his ass off the minutes that he was on the floor. Yeah, he plays super hard. And, like you said, if the passes are a little bit more on point, I mean, he still was a rim protector when, come as a help side defender and whatnot. So, and still was a rim runner when needed. So, I am excited to see a full off season again in the Monster Factory. Maybe whatever he heard throughout the NBA draft process when he was, testing the waters over the summer as well. I think that it will all aid to him fine tuning certain parts of his game that are needed. He's never going to be an offensive beast. So, just grabbing an offensive rebound, putting it back, type thing. Hopefully we see improvements there. But I liked him when he was on the court. I never really thought that he was too much of a, I thought he was fine. And if he's going to provide energy and toughness and go after every rebound with reckless abandon, then good. You can play all the minutes you need.
I wouldn't say I've cooled on him. I think that we all just have expectations that he's our guy, he's our starter, and we're good. You don't need to worry about what we're doing at center. So in any case, that's the basketball portion of the mailbag, and the last question in the mailbag comes from the Banks portion of the mailbag. I may be getting too old for some of these drinking games at this point because I don't know what half of them are. But you're at a lake house in the summer. Which Cincy Light drinking game are you playing, Ryan? This seems to be right up your alley as you are a lake guy, and I'm assuming also a drinking games guy. Flip Cup, Beer Die, Beersby, Can Jam, or Beer Pong? I know
1 and 5.
Same. I'm
Beer Die. You don't know Beer Die?
Beer Die with the boys? Come on now.
There's a cup in each corner of the table. So your team has 2 cups. The other team has 2 cups. You have a die. You have to launch it up high in the air, and you either want to land
above the head.
You want to land it in the other team's cup for 3 points, or it can bounce into the cup for 3 points, or it has to bounce off the table without them catching it for 1 point. And if it bounces off the cup, it's 2 points, and you play to 11. And the die kicks off.
Has to go past the middle line.
Yeah. And the die skips off the table, kind of crazy, and you got to catch it with one hand.
Whatever happened to quarters?
I think that died in the 90s.
It did, probably. It's unfortunate because quarters was
Beersby. You like Beersby, Roy?
Is that? I don't know what that one is.
PCP pipe, beer on top.
Oh yeah.
Frisbee.
Yeah, I like that one.
Frisbee, and if you hit the pipe and the beer falls off, the other team has to catch it as it falls. It's pretty simple. Or if you hit the beer off, then you win pretty much. Can Jam. You don't know Can Jam?
I do.
No.
Yeah, that's the one that you buy where it's like a bucket thing, and it has the hole in it like this big, and you throw the frisbee through the hole, or you can throw it above the can, and your teammate hits it down into the can.
I just like to play the game, finish the beer before it's not cold anymore. That's my favorite game.
That's a fun game. One that's not on here is a beer ball.
I like that one.
I really like that one a lot. That's a fun one. Kind of the beer on each corner. You throw a ping pong ball, hit the beer, and if it goes off, then you got to open the beer and drink as much as you can. The other team runs and gets the ball and has to put it down on the table, and you stop drinking. And first team to finish both their beers wins. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I just like drinking beer.
Royer, which game are you taking? Beer die, you said?
Die. Yeah.
Who was your beer die partner? Did you have one in particular?
Oh, man. I played a lot with Bolden, Will Adams.
Yeah. None of these answers are suggestive.
You know who really loved beer die? Perry Young loved beer die. We get him back.
Really?
There.
That's great.
Yeah. Alec was really good. You could imagine his long ass arms. You could literally just stick his arm halfway across the table on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, some of those catches are tough.
Yeah.
What game are you playing, Brent?
Probably beer die. It's the most chill out of these games. Beer pong, man. I suck at beer pong. I'm just gonna be completely honest, and it just like pisses me off more than anything.
I'd probably go flip cup. I'm old school.
Flip cup's fun. Flip cup. Yeah, flip cup is fun when you got like 10 people on each team.
Agreed.
Yeah,
best of 7,
full line. Yeah, and you're like, because that way you're like yelling at your one teammate that's struggling, like, "Come on, Jesse! Damn it!" So it's
who's Jesse?
Just a guy that was really struggling at Flip Cup one time. So
is that why he lost his girl?
We're really getting on it. Yeah, we all wish so. Yeah, no doubt.
That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
Well, hey guys, summer's almost done. Football's almost back. Got practices, Camp Higher Ground, getting ready to fire up. Basketball continue to inch even closer. But summer's almost done. So keep staying with us. But no further nuggets, guys. We're all good. That was a good Monday. Good happy Monday.
Jason might be back on tomorrow night. That game is pissing me off. I'm trying to get up to All-American level, and I hate the game right now.
The announcement for all of the bug fixes that are coming out, though, that
completely underwhelming.
They're giant.
Are all these computer-generated names in recruiting? Is all that true? Like these weird names that I'm seeing all over social media?
Yeah, they are. They're all on there.
Nuts.
No way. Not the ones I've seen.
I sure hope not the ones I've seen either.
Some of them are fake, but there's some are definitely funny ones.
Yeah, those are just memes people made.
Okay, good.
But there are some funny ones in there.
Okay, good. Yeah, because Roy, I think you and I have been seeing the same videos. Because golly, I was like, whoa, you can't do that. But anyway, but yeah. Hopefully, Chad will be back on the stream soon. But yeah, that game is definitely taking over the world. I saw 200. What was it? 2 million people bought the early preview edition. That was $100 each. So, congrats, EA Sports. Jeez, congrats. But shouts, of course. Thanks as always to Danco Transmission, Not a Care. Love you, Danco Joe. 2.2 million. Thank you, Jason. And then, of course, shouts to our boys over at Quick Favor Supply. And, of course, shout to New Riff. Nice meeting you again, Bobby. And can't wait to come visit. But without further ado, for my guys, pals, the crew, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!